Good evening. As I come to you today, I have a message from an esteemed pastor, artist newbie.
Amen.
The word go as such. While
Say it,
everybody
Pastor.
out there standing on crates, I know a man that walked on water. Start the
Say
show.
it. Amen.
What it do, what it is, man. You know what it is. It's the Black Super Friends. We back. It's another fun day, but we call it Monday, man. But before we start the show, because for the last couple of weeks we've been getting paid, and I'm afraid our account is a little low. So Mr. Horace Towns, run the sponsor for me so we can get that cash.
Well, I do want to say that the sponsor right now is not committed like they need to, right? And they was having some trouble with the proposed pitches that we had for them, and I only could come up with one, but it really tested well in our market studies. It's for a barbecue spot, and it goes as such: blank barbecue. Once you had our meat in your mouth, you're gonna want to swallow.
How could you not pay us for such a slogan?
I don't understand, but I mean, you gonna remember the slogan. That's what it's all about. We're trying to help these people. We're trying to help them, dog. But
Hey, if you're a barbecue joint, just know the deposit has not been cashed. So you can get that slogan for a small price. I suggest you hit the Horace Towns inbox and send that cash.
absolutely.
Hey, tonight we got a impromptu. The show tonight is about something that we talk about all the time. Is being as we're the Baby Fathers United Club, and all of us are somebody's baby's daddy. So we talk about baby daddy issues a lot. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we don't spew this kind of rhetoric because women tell us about baby daddy so much. We don't want to be the guys that's beating the dead horse and just bring it up on every time we on the show. But tonight is tonight. And we're gonna talk about baby daddyism. Yes, Mr. Horace.
Well, Mario, I just want to highlight, great host, that the show is called "Stop Turning Good Fathers into Deadbeats," and we do have to highlight the source of this show tonight. Can I run the media clip that sparked all the outrage today?
Please, if you would.
Hey, stop turning good fathers into deadbeats.
I don't
Bless
think
her
they
heart.
heard. Amazing,
Bless her
amazing,
heart.
amazing, amazing. Sometimes you get a word and it's unexpected, but it still touches your soul. And I and that's one right there for the books, man. We talk about this all the time, like I said, and then we go to different point of views. And I think tonight's segment gonna be interesting because I think that all four of us have different point of views and different thoughts on what a baby daddy should do, what he shouldn't do, and what's his job and uh, what's not his job. So I'm gonna start off with irrational Zay, because you always have a lot to say on such topics. So we're gonna start off with you tonight. You're not only a baby daddy, but you're a professional. Turn on your mic.
Turn your mic on. Your mic is still
Okay.
not on.
I promise the mic is on. I think
Don't,
the
There we
Decepticons
go.
got
There
me.
don't
we
give
go.
me ammo, Zay.
Oh,
Do not
okay.
give it to me.
Got you.
So
Got you.
now we see
Okay.
why you're a baby daddy. You got to pull out, Jay. Go ahead.
He has on the
And that game
he
is
has
weak.
on the child support shirt tonight.
Man, like I'm going to court. You hear me? But I definitely want to thank Nate for that clip because it was funny that we were having that conversation and God bestoweth upon us a blessing. And I'm like, wow. But I think the point or the factor that I was looking at it from is kind of where she was coming from. I hear so many times people say, they tell fathers, you need to fight more, see your child, spend time with your child, and do for your child. And I'm just wondering, what the hell is the fight about? Now, if you have a child's father that does absolutely nothing, then I understand. But then you're beating a dead horse. But when you have someone that's willing to meet you halfway, why would you fight tooth and nail over the most minusculest of things? But yet it happens. Pars.
Are you saying there's a fine line between co-parenting and breakups?
Definitely, indubitably. There's definitely, and I think that the lines get blurred. But that's just my irrational thinking because I'm irrational. There's nothing logical gonna come out of this mouth. What's up, Chris?
Okay, you said meet halfway. That's what I think is the gray area right there. Meeting halfway, because your halfway may not be her. Hold on, am I ashy? Damn, I should put on some lotion. Yeah. But I think your halfway is probably not her halfway. I think that's what a disconnect is constantly. Well, where halfway is. Now,
I'm glad you said that though, Chris. I'm glad you said that, because what usually happens is there's the two C's that don't happen: the communication and the comprehension. Usually, oftentimes with two parents, you have one person that has an idea or a plan of action in which they like to go. And then you have another person that has a plan of action and ideas in which they like to grow the child as well. They never actually meet. So this person gets mad with this person because they don't know what your direction is. And this person gets frustrated as well because they're just trying to help. So I'm glad you said that, but go right ahead.
I think when my thing is when you're dealing with a situation like that, the comprehension is cool. The communication is cool. But what's most important for the other person is the compensation. That's what we're talking about. That's what it's about a numbers game. What is your halfway? And this brings me back to a conversation that we had a long time ago and where we kind of disagreed. I remember one time you said that child support is enough. This is probably like 5-6 years ago, maybe a little longer than that. I would like to revisit that. Do you still feel the same way?
I do, in certain aspects. If a woman takes a man to child support court or court for child support and he's a deadbeat, all right, then that was what was arranged and that's what you get. You already know that because he can't do anymore. I do think that when a woman takes a man to child support court that you know is willing to help you, and that's what they contractually come up with for you, just like the prodigal son, here you go, that's your cut. You have no more dictation on what else that individual does with their money. You can't even breathe it. Even though it happens all the time, I don't think that it is right. So yeah, no. But that's not to say that you won't do. That don't mean that you won't do. It just means that whatever you're going to do is whatever you're going to do. You don't need any dictation from that other person because you got just what you asked for. But go right ahead.
And I totally understand that. Now, coming from a person that has never been on child support, I'm speaking from a position that I don't know nothing about. So, but what I'm saying is this: when she send that child over there with no clothes, what is
which they often do.
When she send the child over there and you seen this child got bigger, do you not buy new clothes? Do you not buy new shoes when the shoes dirty? Even though you pay child support. And I think that's what we differ. That's what we differ at. Again, I've never been on child support. I don't know the emotional toll that takes. But for me personally, I don't need my BM to tell me she needs this. If I can physically see this, then I'm going to take care of that. I don't need her to keep me abreast on things at school. I want to be on the email list. I want to be on the call list. I kind of want to go to meet the teachers so I can have information too. I don't want her to. For me personally, I've always said when I get my child, I don't want to have to call your mother for nothing because maybe that's just selfish of me and just bullheaded. But I don't want to have to call your mother for nothing. So I have to keep myself informed. That's why we disagreed before years ago. I just don't believe that child support is enough. I believe that whatever needs to be done within your means. I don't think you should go overboard with anything, but within your means. I'm not going to sit here and see her not have clothes and just not do it.
Well, I want to interject because I'm a 3-time survivor. I'm a veteran also. So I want to say, guys, but so your conversation perspective is going to be different. I'm not saying I'm different from you, but you have You haven't been on child support, so I'm really interested to see what Xavier's take is because he may have I don't know, but Zay,
Yes,
Mario been on
express your
child support too. Demario been on child support too, so we need to know.
he
We
has.
need to hear
And
some of
Go
his.
ahead.
also,
I'm gonna let Mario speak.
we veterans.
and I also
Yeah,
have
y'all.
I've graduated to the esteemed status as Horace. And once you walk down that road, and let me tell you, before I even say my soliloquy, let me start off by saying this: to get that call on that illustrious day to say it is over. It just sometimes I think about that when I'm in my downest of times. I think about like, man, it don't matter. A couple of years ago, I was on child support, and I'm not now. So I know there is a God because He brought me out of that lion's den. So that's where I bring a lot of my hope and help from. Just knowing that you can go through 18 years of persecution and still live to fight another day. Now, I just don't believe. See, I believe that when it comes to a woman and a man, it's about leverage. And everybody know I believe that. I believe I've been through this system, and in the latter years of my child's mom, she actually me and her got on one accord. So the latter years it wasn't that bad, but the first years it was tumultuous. So it was crazy. And I done been to court, I done had lawyers, I done did all that. And one thing I've known consistently is that if you don't have a lot of money to fight and a hell of a job and a hell of a backing, and the mother's not on drugs or abusive or a jailbird, then you have no leverage in the child support system. You will lose 9 out of 10 times, my brothers. So after taking slashings and lashings for over the years, I had to say to myself, I can't win this way, so let me try to win on understanding that I've lost that it's fair. I've lost that it's equal. I've lost all of that. So that's just dead. So let me see now, how can I get this relationship out of this, and how can I make my headache go away? Because that's all you're trying to do is dilute your headache because you have no leverage. See, I think a lot of times with me and Zay, I think he's still trying to get to the point of like fair and equal, and it should be, and it got to be. Why can't it be? All those questions out the window. This is the way it is, so this is how I have to address it for me and my sanity. And once I start thinking like that, I start living better and understanding that it's just money. If she come over my house and she has just a toothbrush, I will buy everything she needs for this weekend and the next weekend. If she calls me the day before school, like it has been done, and say she don't have this, guess what? Go do it, nigga. There's nothing you can do. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing you can do because in that case, now I got to get a lawyer, waste some more money, go to court, not see my. It's just too much, bro. When it can be easily solved, because most of the fight be about just emotional stuff that you can just put to straight by just saying, all right. And at the end of the day, my daughter wins. Like right now, if you call me and say your daughter needs some shoes, and it's the day before, you didn't call me and ask me for your shoes. You asked me for my child some shoes. So I'm willing to sacrifice and do all this stuff for her anyway. At least that's what I say. So let me sacrifice, get up and go find some shoes and then give them to my daughter. You might be mad going over, but you lost. So you already, once you start thinking like you lost, I think you just understand and say, you know what? At the end of the day, anytime you call me, it's for my daughter. It don't matter if it inconveniences me. It's not you inconveniencing me. It's something for my daughter. That's just what I think about it. Because child support ain't no win.
Well, I think I want to play devil's advocate.
Right.
Although I've never been on child support, but I as a man, I think that having that leash around your neck, or having a woman to just be able to just, I don't know, just have that power over you to the point where you're doing wrong. You know
right.
that you are as equal as a parent as I am. Because I'm
right.
a firm believer in, I don't believe that you should pay somebody to be a parent. You have to have a house your own. You have to have a place to live yourself. That's your bill. That you have to feed that child. That's your bill. Because when she with me, you don't help me pay for none of these lights. You don't help me pay for the food. You don't help me pay for anything when my child is with me. So I feel the same way. I don't think that no one should be paid to be a parent. What I like to do is this. I like to say, what is her bills? what braces, I'll make that payment every month. Hair, because I had an issue with my BM one time about hair. She came sitting to me one time, and I ain't like the way her hair was done. She had her hair done, and my BM said something like, "Well, if you don't, you get it done." I took up the challenge and made sure I started to get it done, or I made sure I paid for it to get done. So bills to my child, I don't mind paying those. I feel like that's my responsibility. But what I'm not gonna pay is your rent. What I'm not gonna pay is for food, because you have to feed that child, and I'm not gonna pay you to be a goddamn parent.
Go right ahead.
Can I petition the court?
Let's do it.
Right.
I thought that I would have nothing to contribute to this conversation. I didn't even want to contribute, but I've heard everybody's perspective. Me and Mario are the veterans of the group. Chris, you were not enlisted. Good job. Kudos.
Yes.
But I will say,
it's not because I was always good now. It's not because I was always good.
I'm going to give you some credit before I go into my dissertation. Your trauma is what made you a great father. It made you want, that's all, like all of us, it made us want to make sure we had enough love for our kids, that our kids, we didn't want them to feel the pain that we had. Let me tell you something, quick synopsis. You guys know that when I was allegedly doing wrong, because of my upbringing, I had a person, I bought the vehicle, and I'm putting it out, I'll give it down to here. I bought a car, I bought them a home to stay in, the rent, and one no Section 8 and all that, like in the finest neighborhoods back then, right? Every dollar I made, bam, bam, bam. And I was an idiot, but I just wanted to be a good father. Every time I turn around, they need this and they need that. It wasn't until I really found out the true cost of stuff, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm there out here hustling for free, right? Yeah. So at one point, there's still an attachment to me, right? When they finally saw that I had a possible interest in somebody, I was going on a date, that's when my life turned to hell. But here's how karma works. That person took me to those courthouse, and I was in the high five when I left out, because when I went in there with receipts where I paid the insurance, I bought the car, I paid the rent. And when I left out of there, they got 30% of what I was giving them right there, right? So I won that case, but I want to make a point to you. Fatherhood and baby daddy is a sucky job. We have to just, as men, know once you have put that baby batter in crazy chick, good chick, whatever, it sucks, but you have an obligation, rain, shine, or whatever, to make sure that damn child is good. When I moved on, did I have 2 households to take care of? Yes, but I swear to God, God really took care of me, because I worked hard to get a raise. I don't even know how I did it in retrospect. I took care of 2 homes. They don't think about none of that. A chick that you done left, she can give a damn. She can give a damn. But those kids are affected. That's why as a man, it does something. But as a man, the kids feel it. So y'all seen me when I would leave work, get in a car to drive up to Orlando after my kids got relocated, just to go to a game of practice and then drive all the way back here for working the next day. Even when I paid child support, I had to buy this kid. Tyler was a superstar. He playing lacrosse. He playing soccer. He playing football. I still had to do them things, bro. And it was it tough as hell? Absolutely. But I can never let my child, that whole argument about I gave mama some money and all of that, man, them kids, they just got to be kids. I made them. So
that did not stop you from being sprayed in the streets. You were still being sprayed in the streets. I think that's Zay conversation too.
Hey, Chris, before you go into that, let me dive into something you said, because I think what you were saying was a great way, and I think sometimes that's the way that Zay feel like it should be too. See, what you just said was, I'm gonna take care of my daughter's bills, right? And I feel like I shouldn't have to pay for a woman to live, right? You have that.
You the parent, no.
Right. You should, like house, water, like car, gas, like stuff like that you gonna have to pay for anyway without your daughter, right?
And that I have to pay for. Yeah.
Right. So So that is great, and you have that view because you ain't on child support. Because right now, when you go down to child support, they put a dollar amount, and that dollar amount goes to her as she see fit. And then, so what happens is this: you have the leisure to say when she want her hair done, here go $50. When she want this done, here go $60. Zay gonna say, I gave her $230. When she come to my house, I still have to get her hair done. I still have to buy shoes. I still have to get nails. I still have to. So where did my $230 go? See, that's why. That's the difference. Right now, you know your money is going to these things because you are paying for them per se as they go. But child support don't say
out of pocket.
You have to pay for hair. You have to pay for shoes. Child support say you're paying for room, board, and food. Everything else is a gift. So that's why your perception of like, oh yeah, I pay for this, I pay for that. I don't think no man have no problem with that. Child support don't tell you this covers shoes, hairdos, and nails. This covers water, lights, food, and roof.
Everything.
The stuff that you think you shouldn't have to pay.
Make it enough.
But then
The court don't care about us. As black, as black men, as a black family, shit, everything is geared at keeping us out of the home, out the family grid. So no, it sucks. So we need to think about all of that when you before you go in there and shoot this club up. Like, bro, you know what the possibilities that you're taking on? It sucks, but it's just the truth.
That's the best. That's the best. Count I ever did. Having Jalen early. 19 years later comes Lil Mario.
Yeah.
But then again, we have to take in consideration that I don't know if the court. Okay, go ahead, sir. Okay, I go. I don't believe.
Horace has said a very good point.
What I don't believe is this. I don't believe what Horace said. I believe from what I've learned about. Again, I've never been on child support. But talking to a lot of people that's been on child support, and dealing with a lot of people that's been on child support, the courts does not work that way. If you can prove that you have your child a large percentage of the year, that works in your favor. If you're willing to go in there at your job and put your child on your insurance, Hardy can contest to this because I remember him going through it. That helps you a lot. That's when you go into the court with that shit instead of just receipts. When you saying, well, she's at my house, I'm with her this amount of time over the year. That means you got to go get her, and she got to be with you. Plus, you go on your job and put her on your insurance, meaning you taking care of that child health care. Then you go into court with a whole nother perspective. You don't have to get treated like that.
Before
I got
we
you
go
too.
Zay,
Hold on, wait, too. I got you.
Hold up, because you're a little biased. When everybody have a child support issue, I'm damn near legal aid. I've shown y'all how to compete with that system. I know. Instead of what Mario was saying, I learned the loophole. So, bro, I know about taking care of some kids. I done paid off about 2 Mercedes Benzes. What I'm saying is, do take into consideration your bias. So don't say what I've been told, because we've actually been through that, bro. And you know how many times as a great father, I'm bold enough to say, you know how many times I didn't have bonuses and stuff taken for me when I'm working my ass off, and my son stayed with me. I was so scared of going to court. I was still paying child support for damn near 5 years because I just didn't want to see the court, and my son stayed with me. Zay, am I lying?
No, I was gonna tell you that is a headache. That day that you have to go to court. So you haven't went through these things yet, Chris, and thank God and thank your baby's mom for being that type of person with you and for you so that you didn't have to go through this. Unfortunately for myself, for Hardy, and for Horace, we have. So one thing that Horace said that makes sense. This system is not meant for any black man's betterment. I know a dude that's paying $800 bi-weekly, and that's crazy. That's on one child, right? So when you say give anything any more than that, hell no. And I mean what I'm saying. I'm dead ass. Because when she's with me, I'm going to do everything that I'm supposed to do as a father. Ain't nobody got to tell me to be a father. I've been the spokesperson for child support for dudes who have been angry about child support to tell them exactly what you said, Chris. It's a bill. You can pay for these hoes how to get done out here in these streets. You can pay for your child. So the money aspect of it ain't always the problem. It's what comes. It's the addendum. It's what comes along with it. You know, the disrespect, like you said, the talking down to and the acting as if, you know what I'm saying, that person is less than. Because for a lot of years, what y'all didn't know is I actually felt like that when I hear people tell me I'm an excellent father, but I felt like I was inadequate in some ways, shapes, and forms. So I asked, what's the fight about for real? Because if that child ain't hungry, naked, or homeless, what are you arguing about? The child support is being paid, and whatever else the child needs when it's with that father is taken care of. What's your gripe? And I say that because I led with saying the 2 C's. communication and comprehension. Horace said something that was very, very on point. Where does the breakup and the co-parenting bleed over onto each other? Because I feel like that happens a whole lot as well. Meaning, if you communicate to that person what your plans are, and you take the time to actually comprehend what that person is telling you back, that person isn't fighting with you or telling you that they can't do it or won't do it the way that you want to get it done. They're saying, okay, I see you. I can do this and I can do that and I can do this, playing your part. But again, what we've learned in our conversation is it's not always fair, and that where your half is, it ain't going to be taken that way. You know, the fact that you can take that child and give that person a break is not viewed as a bonus or a plus. You feel me? When they want something that's last minute outside of the money that you already got to dish out. Now, Hardy, your wife can attest to this, because if you're living on a budget and you've already budgeted and allotted this money to that person for that said reason, and then you got money for your child when they come with you to take care of whatever it is, because you don't ask for anything. I don't think that it's fair for you to do over and above, especially when you're not being met with gratitude. They don't make you.
So, for one, I don't think you should care about the gratitude that comes from a child's mom, because you should care about the gratitude that comes from your child. So it don't matter what. I always felt like I didn't care what my baby mama said about me. I care about how my daughter felt about me, because that's who I'm doing this for. See, I think you gotta like push her to the side, because her thought. You're right. It sucks to hear that, but at the end of the day, people who know. Like, the proof is in the pudding. Like, you can produce that. Like, bro, if I see you with your child, you look foolish saying I'm not a good daddy if I'm always doing daddy stuff. But I'm saying this. I want to know this. At the end of the day, if you pay let's just say you pay $1,000 a week, and that go to your baby mama, and her hair is not done, and she don't have those shoes, and her clothes are too small. You telling me, you saying, fuck that, she got to go out there like that because I've done enough?
I didn't tell you that. I said that parent don't have the room to ask me for shit else, is what I said. Because just like y'all said, we go and get it done. Y'all know what happens. We go and go get it done. But I don't think that other person should have any input or say. You just shouldn't have nothing to say. You got your due diligence, like I said, like the prodigal son. You got what was coming to you. Cease with the demands. Let me do what I'm gonna do, because as you said, Horace know that we've done for extra bonus kids that aren't even ours. On top of doing
who?
Well, I have. You only done for Kylie. You haven't done that. Horace has done it. I've seen Mario do it. You feel me? Like I said, you have a blessed situation, Chris. A lot of guys would love to be in your situation. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, they're stuck in our 3 situations. I promise you. So
I got it sweet. It's a little sweet.
So when it comes to that, right? No, I don't think you should be hitting me up with any extra demands. Like you said, my daughter can tell me.
So I gotta say this. So if I can't hit you up, because I'm gonna play devil's advocate. So right now, you gave me $1,000, and let's just say I spent it, because you don't know what I spend my money on. Exactly. So let's just say I spent it on on the roof, because she does have a room, on whatever I need, right? And then I hit you. Then you tell me I shouldn't hit you up. So what happened when I asked John Boy? Then you get offended when I ask John Boy, because John Boy, you don't want John Boy doing nothing for your child. So if I can't ask you, I don't have the money, and I can't ask John Boy, then what gets done? But if I don't ask you, you don't know. So if I don't ask you, and then I don't ask him, because if John Boy my boyfriend, and I ask John Boy, because my baby daddy has made it clear, once he give me child support, don't ask him for a fuck thing. So I won't. So now I have a man who loves me, who's saying, I don't want to see you struggle, and I love your kid. Don't ask your baby daddy, because he said don't ask him for a fuck thing. I got abundance of money. Here you go. So do you have the right to be mad about that? Because it was your reason why I didn't ask you. Because you said don't ask you outside of child support.
You don't.
I put on the cake before. I
gotta hit his answer.
No. I say you don't. You don't. But see, you said exactly what I was saying. The communication. Hey, you know what? I didn't have this. They need X, Y, and Z. Okay, cool. Because just like you said, I can do this. I can do that. You understand what I'm saying? But unfortunately, life isn't perfect. So we don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Perfect, picture perfect. We get it dropped on us last minute.
Right. I'm saying last minute. Like scenario. Tomorrow is school. Tomorrow is school. She needs shoes. It's last minute. Today's Monday. She needs the shoes Tuesday. My dude is right here. He got the cash. You just told me, don't drop it on you last minute. Communicate. I should have known. I'm gonna have to hear all that shit from you. So if I ask him, are you gonna get mad? Because it's last minute.
At the end of the day, like I said, you got to do what you got to do. You do got to take care. No, you got to take care of your household. But when you, no, I'm not. I ain't doing shit. I'm trying to answer. I'm trying to answer the question.
This is mental. This is mental.
Go ahead.
This is mental. What is it called?
Molestation.
He's doing. This is what he does. This is mental molestation. He'll sit there and have a conversation with you, talk, and he just messing with you, and he hasn't answered this question yet. Are you going to get mad, Zay? Are you going to get upset about that?
Well, as I started to say before you started, because I knew you were coming. Come on, I am not, because that's a choice that you had to make. You feel me? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I am going to talk to you again and say, hey, listen, next time if you can, let me know so we can do it. I understand emergencies, but every time is an emergency, I think that's a pattern, and that's just who you are. Then you got to, at that point, do what you got to do. And one of the things that we did talk about is I felt like I understand a lot. I didn't fully understand. I just know. You feel me? Because I still had a issue with it. But if I'm gonna stick to my guns, and it is what it is, it is what it is. And I ain't gonna shake on that, because at a certain point you start teaching a person how to treat you. And nobody wants to be constantly getting kicked. So it is what it is. But you can communicate, because that's what I started with. Because really and truly, if you do what I'm asking, all right, if there's not a fight, just communicate to me what you need. I can tell you what I got and what I don't got. You can figure the rest of that out with your guy, and it wouldn't be a problem. But I think that is irresponsible. But it doesn't get met. The dropping on a man last minute and then automatically, when they short or they can't come up with it because they had no preparation. All of a sudden, it's everything else other than what it really, really was. You failed to communicate, and then you can't comprehend his no because it ain't what you want to hear at that person's time. It's all good.
When I hear stories like this, I must say, I always suspect that somebody, whether it's one or two, are still emotionally attached to the other person. Listen, years ago when I was on some Captain Kurt Russell Wilson stuff, I was dating somebody and all she did was talk about her baby daddy. She had a young kid, and I'm always been pro baby daddy. And after potentially saying, I might want to engage in this relationship, I was like, hey, if you're going to be with me, take them on child support, because you're going to be staying in my home. I'm going to take care of, blah, blah, blah. She told me no. And, that made me realize that it's bigger than child support. So every scenario is different. I left her alone after that, because it's like, it ain't about that. You still have an emotional attachment. But usually there's somebody still emotionally attached, or somebody feels like somebody's there. So just make sure you do an audit and make sure it's all about the kid. And I'm not saying in your scenario, but
right,
because you can't control
just overall.
You know what I mean? Because
I know. I always say this. I was in the beginning of my baby daddy. I could have been a lot better. I don't think I was too good. Once I got my shit together as a man, I became better. And the better of a man I became, the least problems I had. For mine, I'm telling you, like when I was in the beginning, figuring it out, running around out here, money there on child support, I didn't have. See, the point of view you saying don't have came a lot more because I didn't have. But at the end of my child support, the don't haves came a lot less, so it was a lot less friction. So when you could call me and I have money, because right now there's nothing you could call me in the latter years of Jayla's life and ask me for that I didn't have. So it didn't matter because I was always prepared that you was gonna do some shit like that. Right. So I started saying, I'm the man. I'm gonna prepare. I don't need you to prepare. I'm gonna prepare, and I'm gonna always keep me a little something just in case you do this. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. And then the argument stopped. Go ahead, Chris.
What I say is this: the way I look at it, because I deal with a situation like that myself, and my baby mama's in a relationship herself. What I do, I look at it like this: that man's job is to help his lady. So if he buys a gift for my daughter, it is what it is.
Who cares about that?
He's helping his lady. That's what he's supposed to do. That's why I take the technique of bills, the things that your mother shouldn't have to come out of her pocket for the bills. Now, even with your situation, Zay, I'm not saying that this is your situation, but I'm just saying I've been in this situation where I didn't have. But when I say, okay, if you take care of it, I'll make sure I got it for you Friday. I'll break it back off to you. Or
communication and comprehension, though, Chris. That's exactly what that is, though.
But what I'm not saying is no.
Right.
You're not going to have it because you already had this. I go into it understanding that this is not going to be a fair deal for me. This is not probably going to be rational for me because men are looked at as utilities, things to use. So if I can't come up with it, what do? Ask a man. On us, we feel like, I go rob somebody. I go sell something. Whatever the case, I'm exaggerating, but it's just two different mindsets. So I understand that there may be a time where she just out of the blue asked me for something. And no, I may not have it. So what I might say is, hey, look, if you got it, take care of it, and I'll take care of you Friday. How she takes care of it, it's totally her business. I don't involve myself into her personal relationship. I try to completely alleviate myself from that. My only concern is my daughter, period.
Mm-hmm. Let's take it a segue, though. Somebody asked me, so do women, and we know our answer, do women have the right to just say, I don't have confidence in the dude and it's just too stressful? He ain't consistent enough. I'm just tired of my kids feeling disappointed, and I just rather do it on my own. And they shut him out.
Is it on your own, or are you on Section 8? Are you getting government assistance? Are you on food stamps? Because a lot of them say they're doing it on their own when they're actually not.
That's a fact, Jack.
No, but that's a question. You got
a housing voucher, and you're talking about you're an independent woman. No, you're not. You're not. He's not able to get those same things. He's probably, if he was having a housing voucher or EBT, he'd probably be able to have a little extra set of money too to be able to facilitate those things. So again, we gotta take it case by case, because a lot of that times they say that they're independent or they're doing it by themselves. They're absolutely not.
I want to say, being a sucky, listen, when I get this pregnant, whether it don't work out or not, once I get this person pregnant, that is my consequences for this selfish act.
That's how I looked at it.
Same thing for the women. Because a lot of times it won't be one, it'd be two, it'd be three balls deep before they realize that dude ain't that. But I was going to make a point is, most of the time when I do meet somebody, like we all know we do have homeboys who say one thing and they ain't doing but I don't judge. Right. I can try to fill in the gaps as needed. But everybody got a story. In each relationship, you got the dude that's saying, oh man, she ain't da da da, and you got the woman saying blah blah blah. At the end of the day, it still comes down to the kids. So there was a lot of time where I didn't have it, but it sucked. And y'all remember my stories, bro. I'm talking about the tears. But my kids, like at the end of the day, man, you can't let that PTSD get into them kids. It sucks. It sucks, but I just tried to make sure I was as righteous as I could be with the kids, and trust me, it sucked. But I think excuses, but it's rough.
I think, Horace, you were kind of thinking along the lines of what I'm thinking. I'm irrational, Zay. So for Zay being irrational, I just feel like everything is figure outable, right? If you want to come to the table and sit. Granted, I have my wise homie right underneath me who will say, Zay, why do you feel like that'll happen? Because I just feel like everybody has a sense that God gave them. So if you take your emotion out of it, you logically sit down, you realize everything that you guys have said. Once you have a child, it's no longer about you. The selfishness will go away. The selflessness will kick in and do what's right, not by that person, but by the child. But so many times oftentimes I see that does not happen. And that's where I lose it, because I'm a 1 + 1 = 2 type of person. Nothing that I'm ever going to tell you is going to be unfathomable. Like, it's real. So it's one of those things of either you understand what I'm saying or you don't. But unfortunately, we never really get.
I think it's perception too. Like sometimes
perception is definitely real.
Sometimes two people can think they're doing the exact right thing for their life.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, y'all two independent people with one child. So it's not like, I don't believe that my baby mama and me didn't get along for a while, but I never believed that she was trying to hurt my daughter in any kind of way. I don't believe that she was saying, let me fuck up her life and her daddy. I don't believe it. But I believe that she was doing in her head what she thought was best for her and her child, not DeMario, her child, and me. Because at that point of her life, she didn't have no concern. It wasn't about me. It was about her and her child. And on my end, it was about me and my child. It wasn't about what's best for her, my child, and me. So right now, I think a lot of times what you ask for is, let's do what's best for us as a collective. But it's no collective. It's her and her child and you and your child. And sometimes them things don't agree.
Question for Mario.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to say, not to cut you off. I mean, the difference between respect and resentment, because, you know, you talking about the decision making, but what if she don't respect him? Or what if, like Mario was saying, she resent him because of the prior relationship? So, never mind. Sorry to cut you off, Chris.
I just think that, like I said in the pre-show, I just think that sometimes the baby daddy thinks that whatever decision that the baby mama makes is spiteful to him, and then the baby mama feels like whatever decision that he makes is in spite to her. So when you have those two situations going on, it's hard to we can communicate all we want. I believe that you're making this decision to spite me. So when she sends the child over there without nothing, and you say, well, you got child support, you deal with it, she think that's out of spite, and it may be out of spite, and vice versa. So I think that if we're gonna do anything with communication, we have to understand, we have to communicate that whatever decision I make, it's not out of spite for you, it's not because you got in a relationship, this is what I feel is best. A leadership for a man is not going to always look good to a woman. It's just not. It's simply not. I remember a long time ago, me and Hardy had an argument, and he was like, I said I want to do everything I possibly can for my child, and give her whatever she needs. And he said, no, that's not a good idea. We went back and forth about it. But I understand now that as a father, because he was a father then, I wasn't a father. I understand as a father now, you have to make decisions that may not be good for everybody. Everybody else may not agree with. So sometimes fathers have to draw a line in the sand and say, no, this is not, I'm just not going to do this. And it ain't spiteful to you. It's this is how I want to lead. This is what I want to do. And if that man do undermine you and go do it, it stops the lesson that you're trying to teach sometimes. I don't know if that's a specific case, but I think that can happen too.
Chris, you said.
Go ahead. Zay.
No, I was going to say, Chris said exactly what I was saying. You were talking about the communication part, because the part that you were talking about, that's communication, Chris. You feel me? What you can do, what you can't do, so that they know what they need to do. And then you know what I'm saying, do whatever else it is. You both got the baby here, whether you were pumping harder or she was pumping harder, it don't matter. Y'all both collectively work together. Y'all went half on it, like R. Kelly said. So any and everything that goes on after it ain't top heavy the father, and then the mother just got to do this because, she stay with me all the time and everything else. You feel me? Because it's fathers who have kids that stay with them, and the mothers aren't pressed the way that we are about the child support. They're put on the child support, but then your fathers don't run around and, she a deadbeat, she a this, she a that. You know what I mean? Whatever. They just kind of take it on their shoulder and they move forward. But I feel like a lot of what goes on can be broken up if you just take yourself out, communicate what you need to communicate, and comprehend whatever that person is saying. Because like Hardy said, like Chris has said, that person has a plan of action in which they feel like everything should go, and so do you. I'm just one of them irrational people that feel like, shit, you can tell me what you got going on, I'm going to tell you what I got going on, and let's figure out how we can make this work. But again,
that's an agreement. I'm saying, like, anytime two parties sit down, it has to be a give and a take. But if this person has all the leverage, they never have to give. That's just in life, in any situation. So when you enter into a conversation, like right now, as the Black Super Friends, we equal on this show. Like I'm always saying. But if this was Horace's show, it doesn't matter how deeply I feel about something, he still has the last say. So you can jump around. I can have a PowerPoint meeting. I can do all this stuff. But at the end of the day, it still goes down to what she had. And right now, if you're playing the system game, the system is not meant for you to win. So anytime you walk in there saying, let's have a mediation, let's do this, with the other party walking into there knowing it don't matter what you say. I got Uncle Sam with me, and they're backing me 100%. So niggas say what you gonna say, but I still want it this way. And if you don't, then
You
go
did.
get you a lawyer, like Chris said, and spend and money up. Then let's go.
Well, this is what I want to say. This is how real you're gonna find out how much talking people do. In the state of Florida, legally by law, I don't give a damn. Like Mario said, unless she's an addict or whatever, which is still hard to prove, the woman is the custodial parent at birth. You don't have no rights. You know, I had to find that out the hardest way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to go to court to establish that you're even in that child's life. Like, because until then, you're part of the equation, but you are supposed to be in the financial role. Now, also, when we were talking about financial impacts, I'm going to give somebody a cheat code. There's a thing at the courthouse. Say you're a taxpayer, which you are. Even if you don't have money, they give you a leeway out where you go in and fill out this form and say, I got a court, I need a case I got to bring before the court. I don't have enough money, but as a taxpayer, I need this to be seen. I forgot what other form it is, but it's showing that you don't. And for 6 months, you can file as many goddamn cases as you want and put it in. So I want to hear jokers talking about they don't got no attorney, because even at the courthouse, they have a thing where you can sit down with an attorney for $1 a minute. So now, even though y'all ain't like Rick Scott, goddamn Rick Scott was a baby daddy, and he really changed some of the laws that was impact regarding children and visitation and stuff. So a lot of dudes, I do want to say, no, it's different from when me and Mario was coming up. Hell, when I worked at Citibank with me and Zay, bro, I seen dudes come out the child support place.
Oh yeah,
about to blow that up. It wasn't even right back then, bro. Like Joker get their check and don't get no warning, and he got $13 on the check. Like one no 60%. Like they were taking all of it.
But the worst part about that, too, to not to cut you off, is even with the most crushing thing I ever had to learn was this. When you go through all that and they take all that, the first thing you said is you still have no parental rights, which means you don't even have custody. That means you don't even have no right to see your child. Still, they're gonna tell you
gotta pay for
child support is different from seeing your child. Say it again. I can't think of the word.
No, custody.
Custody. So you need to go to court again to obtain custody to say that I want them on this day, on this day, on this day. So out the real, if they put you on child support, you pay. Then go to court again to get visitation to see. Because she can make you pay and then keep your child away from you, and then you still have no rights until you go to court but to see your child. That was the craziest thing in the world to me. Like, so you're telling me if I pay child support every month, every week, on time, faithfully, and all I want to do is see my child, she still can say, I'm straight. Yes, sir. You need to go to another court.
Yeah. I got a question. Since
I've seen a lot of guys tap out.
Child support, since you guys knew about child support, I said previously that because this is what I've heard from countless guys that's been on child support. Now, they say that the time and health, having the child, time that you have the child, and healthcare, as far as the child putting the child on your insurance, that affects how much you pay on child support. Is that not true?
That's true.
That's true.
Not
But what you gonna
put up the mix? The time means nothing because there's a percentage
the time ain't nothing.
of the year. There's a percentage of the year that you gotta have your child to reduce that child support.
But I'm
That's
saying,
true.
listen, that's what I'm saying. That's a caveat.
It's time sharing.
If you have a custody already, like right now, they say I'm supposed to have my child this amount of time, and I have them this amount of time, and they on my insurance, then you're right. You will reduce that. But if I don't have no custody yet, she never has to bring me the child. So the time won't matter. But the insurance you can do for sure. Like I did that. So once I heard that. So the insurance and the time it do. Because when I used to get my daughter for like summers and all, like they added all that up, but because we had already went for custody. But if you don't have no custody, like right now, God forbid, I know your situation is not gonna happen. But I'm just saying, right now, y'all don't have nothing. So she could put you on child support tomorrow, and you gotta pay. So then you're gonna start paying, but then you got to go to court, and it might get drawn out. So for the rest of the year, possibly you cannot even see Kylie. So when you go to court in January to say I got time, you ain't gonna have no time.
Yeah,
and 2 years retro.
Yep, for sure.
Not even talk about that.
They might take it back to birth because
they
gonna ask her.
They say you didn't pay for the birth.
They're gonna ask her, and if she depending on how she feel, your ass is grass, buddy.
And the last fact, sorry, Chris, under the old contract that we had, when my sons turned 18, I knew every one of their dates. Right? Boom, I'm free. Even paid so much that I got off almost a year early, right? But now under the new regime, if your child go to college, you're paying child support to that kid by 24, 25, 26 with insurance.
And I was gonna tell you the insurance, Chris, because of the insurance, especially for like where you work, but for me, I'm an entrepreneur. So I don't get it through the job. So I don't get that group rate, that discounted rate. Like if you go to Costco or whatever, it's going to be case by case. You'll end up probably paying more for insurance individually than the child support itself. So you might as well pay the child support because the Medicare that they give is damn good insurance for them. So you kill two birds with one stone, but you got to walk down that path in order to understand that. But like we said, like I've taken a lot of tools from Hardy that sometimes when I call them, they be like, oh, Jesus, but I just can't get it out of my head because I feel like, you know what I'm saying? We can. But again, they talk to me, Horace talk to me. You got to do these certain things. And I see why a lot of guys, not that I condone it, but I see why they throw the towel in and just start over or just say the hell with it, because that's a tough mental fight. Damn the financial.
I must say that before this show.
And that's what I said. And it shouldn't be, but why is it?
Credit when credit is due. Because what Horace just said about that college continuation and all that, me and my baby mama surprised the hell out of me. And in the last years, it got greater later. Because I'm telling you, let me just explain this scenario to you about this system that we call child support. My baby mama called me and said, you know, it's time for you to be up on child support. It was COVID. Let's get, you don't have to fly home. Let's have it on the air court. Like, on the phone. I said, cool. She said, all right, I'm going to do it on my break. I'm going to set it up, She called the judge called. The judge said, he's all paid up, ma'am. But in the first beginning, he started off behind. And the tax, even though he paid it up for 5 years, he was behind. And it accrued interest. So the interest never stopped compounding. So now, I know 5 years he was behind, he was struggling, but I see he got himself right. My daughter's 18. So for 13 more years, I was on the straight and narrow. But that 5 years compounded interest carried all the way. So now he owed an astronomical amount of money. Do you want to collect this, miss? It's your money. So my baby mama like, nah, hold on. It go to me or go to my child? He like, it go to you, ma'am. It's yours. So she like, well, no, I don't want it. Because I know he's done more than enough for his child. And he's the one who's helping her go to college right now. I don't want it. The judge said, ma'am, maybe you didn't hear me. This is your money. Why are you turning it down? Take your money. My baby mama again say, ma'am, I don't want it. He's done enough. He's continued to do right now. We're going to college tomorrow. He doesn't want it. Ma'am, this is the last. They're in a full argument. She's arguing with my baby mama about taking this money, and to the point where she almost held a contempt of court. And I'm having to tell my baby mama, don't even argue that. Just say no, ma'am, and then keep it going. To keep me on child support.
Well, you shouldn't have came to the conference with your shirt off.
Leo, when I had my situation, I got to give praise to Monique. I went through two similar cases. When she went down there and said that she was in, one thing, I helped a couple of our friends. There's a rule where a woman can go in there, and if you owe, she can write a one-time letter, say, I forgive him for all arrearages and debt, right? My kid, because of an error, she went down there, they did the same thing, like gave her hell doing it. Even when we went to court, like closing the case, bro, they gave her hell. You know why? Because the amount of money the state of Florida makes, not off the child support, but off the interest. You know how much money they bringing in on child support revenue? That's why I say state of Florida revenue, bro. And if you don't know, I think you pay it monthly. You beat the interest on it, but like, shit, 015, but bro, if you don't know
on that first,
no, don't pay it. I'm not paying it by week.
No, on the first
monthly. I'm kicking that interest out, bro. Like I learned so much over the years, and to do all of that, y'all know if I miss Tyler, like I'm working my ass off, but I have to get off, and Tyler be mad if I don't make his game, even though he's 2 hours away. This boy is playing every sport possible. and he would be disappointed. Hell, even with Mario playing the wheelchair Olympics, like these kids actually don't want to hear that. Like
They don't.
whatever, you're not there. So it's a sucky job, man. Because us not being there is gonna scar us. I played every sport. My parents never. Bishop Wright didn't come to none of my games ever. She chose to go to church.
She came to watch the
fire you up.
players, not somebody sitting on the bench.
Nigga, well, I'm gonna cuss you out, boy.
Hey,
No,
but that's
Chris,
my
you're right.
point.
But Chris,
Oh,
you're right.
no, that's my point.
Yes,
though.
he was in
It's no win. It's no win because at the end of the day, if I had just took that approach, like, man, I'm gonna just pay this and this, what Tootie's saying, my baby would have missed out on so much of life. All the trips she went on, all the exploring, all that other stuff that I would have been like, nah, flying her up and doing all that kind of stuff because all that was me. That had nothing to do with child support. Yeah. But I think about all the well-roundedness because she was dealt a bad hand. She had a knucklehead mama and daddy, and she made it to college on a scholarship. But it's because of me. Because at some point you got to say, bro, we always say we're willing to sacrifice anything for our children.
There you go.
So sometimes you might have to sacrifice your respect, your money, your time, and your honor for your daughter. Is she not worth it?
Now, Hardy, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because that is the parallel I'm living right now. It's so much stuff that I do have to, just take back. And it is what it is. Everything that you guys said, I've also got it. I wouldn't leave my child's mother out. She did the same exact courtesy that you guys got. She did redact that so that I didn't have to pay back the back child support, at first. But as you said, as you continue to go, if you don't hit that mark on the first, boy, you got interest. And they don't tell you about it. You ain't going to get that humdinger until the end. I thank my brother right there for letting me know. Because at the end, they're going to say, oh, yeah, you paid everything up. But however, we got this interest that's laying and waiting on you. And you like, God damn, there's no winning. You understand? So, again, like I said, because I feel like I be upset. Well, I be astonished when a person is upset with me. Damn, what did I do? Why can't we work this out? What's going on? You understand what I'm saying? So I'm speaking more so of a point, not the money aspect of things, but because I know how we grew up. And like Mario said, knucklehead mom, knucklehead dad. I don't ever want that child to feel like their love. And not just speaking just for myself, any child, man, because we don't want that for children. We want the best for our children. Anybody that has a child, you feel me? So I just feel like petty differences or whatever the case can always be put aside. I feel like that. And we can just kind of come up with something that works. Damn, the money gonna get spent. You're gonna do things anyway. The money is usually the most minuscule of problems, except for the people who don't have any. What usually comes into play and what plays a part, like Mario said, is when the feeling side of it. When you got to do this thing and you're still not getting no credit. It's not that you're looking for any credit, but nobody wants to be kicked. Either way, you feel me? You already feel when you get child support that you're mocked or that you feel less than because it's like, damn, somebody got to tell you what to do with your child when really and truly nobody had to tell you what to do. Let's be honest. But, yes.
I'm asking 2 questions.
Run it.
With all that has been said from the testimony of 2 veterans and a father of a single parent daughter, Exhibit C, has any of this conversation tonight changed your perspective? Question number 1. And 2, has it impacted you because your scenario is going to change because you'll be going from you'd already have a dispute, but you're going to have a dispute that's going to actually have added participant soon. If your ex goes into a situation where they go into a marriage or whatever, now that dynamic does change because she's answering to her husband. So you don't have anything in here made you say, okay, I might have to change my approach. Did I say that right, y'all?
No, I think you said good. I think I caught what you're saying.
Oh, Chris said, Chris said,
I think you
child support.
I think you're tap dancing. I think you need to ask him you need to say it straight to him.
But he said it.
Well,
you didn't catch it?
Give it to me straight.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, give it to me straight.
Dog, in your current situation, your baby mama got a new dude. It seems to be kind of going the right way. If they get married, then she has to answer to him. That means I don't know if you dislike the way shit is going now, but shit could probably get worse because she now has to answer to him. How are you going to deal with that?
You can't. What can you do? The only thing you can do is try to communicate. Listen, But again, just because you communicate, and this is something that I'm learning. I know this. I thought that I understood this, but I'm learning that I just know this. You can talk to them and say, hey, listen, look, you know, this is the scenario. This is the child. You guys have what you guys have going on. What we want to show the child is love, or that we can get along, whatever the case may be. I don't ever think that it's ever a problem. I do feel like a proper conversation or introduction should be done, but that's in a perfect world scenario. What I'm learning is everybody don't live in that perfect world. They do whatever is best for them. So what you're going to have to do, conform, Chris. It is what it is. Does it suck? Hell yeah. Because is that the way that you would like to go? No, but it takes that person to want to communicate or even comprehend what you're saying. Because to some people, that sounds like foolery. A lot of guys that I've spoken with, I think you may have told me that, and I spoke to other guys. Why would you want to meet them? Shit, in my mind, I have a daughter. You feel me? But some guys could care less. I'm not some guys. Most guys don't even want to try and talk.
Here's the thing, Zay. The same thing. I don't know. I'm not saying that you're complaining. I'm not saying
no, not at all.
But what I will say is this: the same thing that Buddy is doing, you did to the same woman. You did it to the same woman. You came in and played super dad to children that wasn't yours too. So if you have any issue with what Buddy's doing, you did the same shit.
I'm glad you said that, Chris.
Oh, Chris is nasty. He been holding that guy.
He's not nasty. That's a great question. That's a great damn question, Chris. We're not the same. On my dead daddy. Damn. The other kid's father knew that I stepped to him and, hey, how you doing? And introduced myself as who I am, because that's who I am. Yeah, no, that's who I am. Everybody ain't the same, like I just said. So in a perfect world scenario, this is what it is. I am with their mother. You know, I'm never ever gonna try to replace you as their father. If there's anything, you can always come holler at me. However, I'm with their mama. I'm gonna do those things that Mario said. Take care of the kids. I've never ever tried to ever replace a man. I never ever do that because I know what it feels like. But that was even before I had my child. I had those, you know what I'm saying, cojones to do that. Not everybody gonna do that because some people feel another way. Go ahead, Horace. I see you ready to tap.
Question. Okay.
Run it.
We going because that just hit something. After Clubber Lane hit you with a 2-piece, you said that how that's a trigger because that's bothering you, right? So here's the reality. It's a reality. If potentially they get married and whatnot, can you deal with the fact that certain men ain't gonna operate like we want to? People are not going to conduct themselves. He may choose to never address you, but the reality is your daughter, because she's with the parent, is going until you go to court and get 50-50 custody, is going to be staying under that man's roof and under that man's influence. And what if he doesn't give you what you want? That's
you ready?
Because you did that for the other dude, but everybody don't maneuver like that. Everybody ain't built like that.
Most definitely. What I've learned in this walk is you got to give it back to the person that gave it to you. Zaya, or my child, is my blessing from God. Whatever it is that I'm supposed to do, my purpose in her life, that's what he got me there for. I had to learn how to take a step back because I have done it. Because even in this current situation that it is, I've stepped the guy. Hey man, how you doing? I know you probably don't know who I am. My name's Zay. I'm Zaya's father. You know, no pressure. But it was probably received as aggressive. Shit, you know what I'm saying? You're only around another person's child, but I get it. It's not their responsibility to introduce. But
yes, it is.
If you can, I can only wait so long.
You came into that man's life. You should be the first one to step to him. Yes.
You would hope, Chris, but that you won't always get. So I tried to wait, but I'm an assertive person. So then at that set of time and point, I'm going to assert myself. Hey, how you doing? Because I don't think that it's any pressure. And I also understand this.
So why do you think of pressure?
Say that again.
You said it was received in such way as pressure. How do you? Why?
No. I said that it could be perceived as aggressive because
Why? I'm saying right now, if I come to, hey Chris, hi, I'm this. Why would I think Chris had a problem with it? If you said it like hi, I'm Jayla's daddy. How you doing, Chris? Nice to meet you. Why would this man think that you was being aggressive?
Why when you tell a person, you know, how you feel about something, they feel like, damn, how this nigga gonna try me? Because of the perception is reality, the way it was perceived.
But I would only know that unless he say, nigga, how you gonna try me?
Exactly.
The only way I know I'm trying Chris, if Chris gonna have to tell me I'm trying him.
But remember what I said. I said it could be perceived as aggressive. I just thought that I was being assertive, is what I said. I never said that the person said I was aggressive. I said it could be perceived as such. However,
Or it could be perceived the other way. That it was perfectly good. I talked to Zaya's father. We on the right page. See, I think sometimes it's about the lens you're looking at the world through. Like right now, if I say something to Chris and I'm waiting for him to have a negative response, then I'm gonna be, because right now you could have said, "Hey, I said it to him in a polite way as a man." He received it that way. That's not what you said. You said, "I said it to him as a polite man, stuck to him as a father, and he received, and it could have been received that way."
However, but what did I say? Finish out. What did I say? However, all I did was introduce myself, because what I said.
Are you talking about you? I'm saying that's all you could do. All I can tell you is all I did. I don't, unless Chris tell me he got a problem, I'm gonna think he don't have no problem.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So if the dude never said he had a problem, why could it even been perceived?
Because of how he looked, because of what I think how he looks at it. Mario, my brother told me he was in the. I hope this. I'm not quoting him because it was a long time ago. He said it to me. He was saying that they was in the club one time and they happened him and his BM and the dude was happened to be in the club, and he said that they had a lot of attention towards them too, saying that Buddy was looking at him and they was over there looking at him or trying to put on a show for him. That's how Mario perceived. Well, my brother Mario perceived what Zay was saying. So I think that if Zay actually feels that way, that's probably why he thinks that when I said that to him, it came off aggressive. He thought it was aggressive. That's my opinion on that one.
See,
Mario was like,
Mario ain't tell me that one.
Yeah, Mario was like, man, Zay
I think we all can agree on something
else. Zay was over there talking about they over there looking at me and all this other stuff.
Right, and I think that's what I'm saying. I just think this. A lot of time in life, it be stuff that's made in the cloud. Like right now, if I never said, I'm saying, if I never said nothing to you out the way, we have no problem. Period. Like never said. That's what I'm saying. If the dude never said nothing to you out the way, then why would it even perceive any kind of way that it's a problem?
So Mario, if Zay has the issue, right? Should Zay step to him and say, "Hey, blah blah blah. Hey, I have, I want to talk to you about something that I feel you might not intentionally be doing, but it's something that's I feel like is disrespectful."
Need to be addressed. Just address.
Well, see, this is what me and Chris gonna differ. Because I feel like Chris gonna feel like, well, you should step to me because I came in your life, and I'm gonna feel like I didn't come in your life. I came in her life, and I don't owe you nothing. I don't owe you nothing, right? See, I don't believe in package. I don't, because right now you the same person says it's not a package. It's me, and that's your child. So you can't. Is it a package or not? I'm saying I came into this girl's life, and by way of me loving her, then I'm not gonna see her child suffer because that'll make her hurt. So understanding that, but if you do everything you right, I might not have to do nothing for your child. Because like right now, I done dated a woman who had a child and her baby daddy was open, and I didn't have that much interaction with her baby child. But if he didn't do, I'm not gonna see the woman who I'm dating sulk and everything like that. So it really doesn't have nothing to do with your child. So I feel like I don't have nothing to do with you. Right? I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna say how you doing and all that. I'm willing to have any conversation, but I don't feel like I'm not dating you, bro. I don't feel like I have nothing to do or have to say. I don't have to say something to you.
Well, see, that's what we differ, because I believe that anytime that you put yourself in a situation where you are in intimate settings with my daughter and no one else is around, yes, I think that you should.
Right. If I do that,
and I agree with
what's been said. I'm saying
if you don't do that, that's fine. If you're supervised,
but no, that's not what people say. Most people feel like once you start dating somebody, mom, and you're gonna be around their child, you should say hi and introduce myself. I'm not introducing myself.
Maybe I came off wrong, because that's not how I feel. I believe that I picked a baby mama that's going to make good decisions. Nothing's 100, but I think that she's going to make good decisions on who she picked. So I don't have that. That's not an issue that I have. The only issue I have is when another man is around my child alone and unsupervised. I believe, this is just my personal opinion from my personal experiences, there's no such thing as I know him, I trust him. I remember my nephew, basketball coach, got caught on some pedophile shit, and I thought I knew him. I went to practices with him. I went to I talked to this man. I thought we had a good relationship, but at the end of the day, he was a closet pedophile that shot himself in the head in Nashville.
Right.
So ever since that, I do not trust. I cannot physically trust any man period, around my daughter alone. I trust that my baby mama is going to pick somebody great. So it's don't. I won't say great, but pick somebody that's not going to do stuff in her mind, but at the same time, so that's the reason why I'm not going to be like, don't have no man around my child. That's not my issue. I don't care nothing about that. But when you do it, when you are about my child alone, because I know I've talked to so many women. I've been dating for a long time. You can't imagine the amount of women that say that they was raped.
They've been bothered.
I hear it all the time when they've been touched. Right. I hear that too much.
And from your words, you knowing him or talking to him not gonna stop him from doing it.
It's not enough. I just don't think it's enough. So all I'm saying is, brother, just like what I would do if I'm ever gonna be around your child by myself, especially if I have knowledge of you, especially if the reason I believe the reason why my relationship with this woman flourished is because you have your child 3-4 times out of the week, or she can drop her off on the weekends and we can go do all our things, the things that we want to do. I think I owe you that courtesy to say, hey, bro, your lady is asking me to pick up your child by myself. How do you feel about that? It's not.
But
I
that's
don't
you
have
though,
an
Chris.
issue with you. How do you feel about that? And that's why I think that should happen. Not that I don't want nobody around my child, because I can't control that. That's not a problem with me. Intimately, alone, I'm never going to be comfortable. I'm sorry. I just
right. But you talking about comfortability and control.
That's a courtesy. You ain't got
you
none.
might not be comfortable with it, but Colette just respects you. That don't mean that she have to tell you. She never has to. That's what I'm saying. Like, you still can't control. If she say go pick him up tomorrow, you can't stop it. So my point is,
she probably still do.
So you talking about comfortability. I'm talking about I'm saying, why does that man owe you that?
Because I believe that we as men should vibrate on a different level. Period. That's just what I believe. We should vibrate on a different level. We have been through with women so much that we know that everything isn't as on face value. So as a man who came into your life, with your child, I'm going to step to you. I personally have never been in that situation that I had to do that, because I've never seriously dated a woman with kids like that. I haven't. So I'm talking out my ass right now because I don't actually know. But in my mind, if I was to do that, if I was to get with a woman with kids, the first thing, if she ever asked me to be alone with these kids, I'm going to say, hold on, I think that we need to have a conversation with your daddy, with your father, with your baby's father, because I'm a father and I know how uncomfortable it could be for a man to be around their children alone. I recently took my daughter and 3 of her friends school shopping on a mall trip. I made sure my daughter get confirmation from fathers and mothers. Now, every father, I couldn't get confirmation from every father, but that's me not even having a personal relationship with the mother. If I had a personal relationship where I knew of the father, I knew that the father was there, I think I owe that man respect, because I came into his life. He didn't come into mine.
That's true. Everybody ain't gonna be the same though.
Don't pick my daughter up, then what? You're not gonna pick them up, right?
I believe that's why I set my life up so that Monday through Friday I'm off at a certain time.
I'm not saying
that don't mean anything.
I'm not saying it. I'm saying
that means something to me. That means something to me. So if I don't want her to pick them up, I can easily say, "Hey, look, I got her. I go get her."
And she can easily tell you, "Nah, such and such got her. What you gonna do?" Because I want you to understand something. When you back,
if you don't have any custodial rights,
then let me ask you a question, Chris. Since it's a race to the school, and I'm glad you said that. Where you gonna return her to? Because Mama got the custodial rights, right?
She can stay with me. She's with me 3 times out of the week. She's with me 3 times out of the week. What would be the difference in the night?
You tell that shit to the judge, sir. It sounds great though. It sounds great.
In the morning. This is what we've been doing. It sounds
great.
I normally get when my baby lived in the same city, I would have a 3 to 4 times out of the week. I would pick up. Our exchanges was through the school. If I pick her up, she got clothes here, I'm going to feed her, and I can take her back to school in the morning.
You're a good dad, Chris. Take that question since you're on fire tonight.
Okay, it's going to take a minute for me to leave my child unattended. Now the question is, do you make your partner uncomfortable by not leaving your child at home? Look, you stay with your baby daddy. Stay with your baby daddy. If that's going to be an issue for you, we may need to promote staying with the custodial parents more.
Well, that's how I feel about dudes who try to control the situation with their kids too much. You need to stay with your baby mama then, because you know by leaving her that she was not gonna be single for the rest of her life, and a nigga was gonna come along. Now all of a sudden you can't want to have all the control over that house when you're not there.
I don't.
Right.
I have this one request as a father of a daughter. I would like you to not. I'm not comfortable with my child being alone with someone. I've never been comfortable.
And
I can't even control what you do. I can't control what you do. I understand that.
You heard what Mario said?
This is how I feel. This is what I think.
Men need to think about that. I stayed with my son's mother till the age.
That's the only way you can control that. If you're not comfortable with that, if you're not comfortable with that, and you being realistic, the only way you can stop that is stand with her.
Right.
100% right.
The minute you say, I'm straight.
Shoot up the club again. If I ever shoot up a club again,
you know it. That's where you stand.
I'm handcuffing myself because fellas, this is not the life. This is not the fucking life, fellas.
It definitely ain't.
This ain't the life. This ain't cool. This ain't good. This is a hard thing to deal with. This is a very hard thing to deal with. Knowing that your child is alone with another dude. That is
I took another approach. I took a open line of communication with my daughter. Daddy always I want to make sure we have conversations every time we get around. And I ain't talking about did somebody tell. I'm talking about leading up conversations, tricky ways to get the conversations. Because like you, I have dated a lot of women too, and I've talked to a lot of women, a lot of friends, and a lot of them have been molested or abused or something. And then the scariest thing though, fuck that. That's a bad statistic. But the worst statistic is I knew some of their daddies. And I knew they were good men, and they never knew about it.
Yep.
So my thing is to be like, so why would you not? Because I know your daddy. Your daddy would have broke him in two. But then that's the reason why. When I heard women start telling me that, I started being so and more understand. Because some women told because they didn't. Some women didn't tell because they didn't want their daddy to go to jail. Some women told because they didn't want to. Like, it's so many reasons because so many women don't tell because that's a traumatic thing. They were too young. It was somebody close to their daddy. They didn't think they could. You just never know. So my point was, I said this: I'm never gonna be with my baby mama again. That's in the books. I can't control what she do. I like to deal in facts. That's a fact. I can't control what she do. I'm never gonna be with her no more, and I have no say. If she let me, she might let me today and not tomorrow. So I can't bet on that. So what only thing I can do is I got two choices. Try to be as open with my daughter as I can, or go back with my baby mama. Yeah. So it left me with one choice. Pray to God as much as I can and be as open. Because you're right, because I don't see all kind of women tell me that same story of molestation. Like strong ones, weak ones, tall ones, big ones, 6 brothers, no brothers, strong daddy, daddy not there, uncle, like it's no, because niggas are crazy.
Right.
Our biggest responsibilities. And I applaud y'all because y'all got daughters, but it happen to boys too. You got to make sure your kids make sure they feel safe and they know, that trust factor. You know what I mean? Being able to come, no judgment, and tell you, you know what I mean? Because once they're victimized, it's scary. They're going through a lot of emotions. Hell, they're more scared of the parent that did it to them. The person that did it to them as well.
I'll tell you right now, all my life, I'll tell you this. Right before I had Mario, I don't want to talk about, but that situation Chris was talking about, not to beat it in the ground. That right there, that was the most, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to even address that because I'm thinking, protect my daughter, not thinking, bruh, there's sick dudes out here would do, like you said, Horace. You gotta watch your sons too. It's a crazy time, bro. You just gotta have an open line of communication because you just never know, bro. There's people out here who are sick, and then you'll be thinking like, bro, I've been around. This is a good dude. This seems to be a good dude, and here we go.
On the
you know what I'm saying? So open line of communication gonna get it.
We're seeing a few under our nose,
and we're saying stay with our baby mama, but a lot of times our baby mama will leave us. That pesky cheating thing.
Yeah, that pesky cheating thing.
You got to get rid of them spots. You can't be a cheater.
Yeah.
Well, listen, all of us, some of us wanted that Bill Cosby dream. The Cosby Show made it seem so amazing to have a 2-parent home. Yeah. Kid had your last name, the same mom and daddy, all of that. You know what I mean? When I was growing up, 2-parent people, I was so envious of that. You know what I mean? Senior night, the 2 parents come out. Ain't no way my mom and daddy could walk on the field together at all. Hell,
My sister walked out with me.
See, you know what I mean?
But that's why I said
nobody came to my senior night
in the beginning of the show that my biggest help for me not having no many kids was having J-Lo young, going through that and saying, "Boy, I'll be that boy. You're gonna have a ring the next time I go through this."
Amen.
And that's just what it is. And I'm never. And people thought I was talking about the child support part, but like Chris was alluding to, that's the no part. It's the part of not waking up to my daughter every day, not taking her, not having to fly home to go to PTO meetings, not going to every single game, like all that stuff right there that I see every little bit. Like when you learning new stuff, man, I wouldn't miss. Man, you kiss my listen, man. That's what I do. Like all that right there, it wears on you as a man. It'd have been a lot of nights I'd have been crying and missing my baby and don't know what to do and all that. That shit. The men don't talk about that part. We just talk about them. Just man, come on.
I'm glad you said that, Mario. I'm glad you said that because when I kept saying it from a different angle or whatever. Hell, we all know what done happened. I be thinking about that shit. There's the look on my daughter's face. You feel me? All the open line communication we got there. Hell, I don't even like iPhone. I bought an iPhone just so that we can have those conversations face to face. We talk. You see what I'm saying? But those sentiments that you're talking about right there, being robbed of things that you know you can do. Chris said, "Oh, I shuffle my schedule around." Hell, I'm an entrepreneur. I can do whatever the hell I want to do. You ever can do whatever the hell you want to do and still not be informed of, this is what we're doing or whatever the case may be, or not even that. You can say, "Hey, listen, I want to set a plan with you." You feel me? So that I can do all these things and still not be met with a common courtesy of, "Oh, you know what? I can oblige that," or something to that effect. And all of a sudden, all those things that Mario talked about that you want, that you hope for, that you wish, that we said we grow up, we're going to be able to make these things happen for our child, taken away from you. And it feels like somebody stole some shit from you. Real talk.
I would say boys do what they want, men do it. No, something like that. Men do this. Listen, be proactive. And that's why I say go down there for men that having an issue. Be proactive and go out there and get it. Once you're paying child support, go out there, email it to her, put you a parental plan. This is what I got proposed. So you go to court like this is what I got proposed, X amount of days, rotating holidays, and sign it and go to the courthouse. And then that way it gets sent to her and served. Establish it that way. I'm just saying
live up to it though.
Yeah, but absolutely.
And be willing to understand that they're gonna find some in your life. They're gonna say, "Where is she gonna do this at when you get to your house? How is this gonna happen when you get?" Because all them like before Judge came back to Atlanta, people know this who know me. Since I started really like saying I'm gonna be a better daddy, I had to have a 2-bedroom apartment all the time. But you know that was an extra bill just because I ain't never want to go to court and say I don't have nowhere she sleeps on because all them little games right there get played. Like what like so she sleeps in the bed with you. No, she's 13 now. She can't be sleeping. See what I'm saying? Like also you was with me for the summer and 2 holidays, but for the other 9 months a year, I had to go pay for a 2-bedroom apartment just to keep. I'm telling you, like all them little things like that. That's what you're saying, like that. How much are you? It's gonna get tested. How much are you willing to do? Just say, I'm gonna be this girl daddy the way I want to be. Because it's gonna take a lot.
You know what's scary? Being somebody that's right now, there's so many single women that have never had a child before. I have met women that's like good on paper and want to have a child. And it don't seem like a big thing for the woman, but to think about a dude who has went through those traumas, to know he about to sign up for 25 years. Hey, listen, bruh, you don't know what it's like. I feel for that. Women, listen, if you get you a dude that's willing to have a child with you, do your due diligence, but you asking a lot, boy. For a joker that ain't been through that cycle, and yeah, I would do it if it was perfect, because to be able to have a 2-parent home and raise a kid, be like Super Mario Senior, I love to see those pictures and whatnot. But if I was to go down that road and it don't work out, shit, my retirement is out the window. Well, let me go and get 2 jobs.
Listen, man, I should like me and Chris talked about marriage. I told the biggest number wasn't marriage; it was having a son. It was having a child with another woman. Because don't get me wrong, you can get divorced, but that's not going nowhere. To even think about having to go back into that court system again was, Jesus, you talking about it just bring up on the back of my neck right now, just skin. Well, that right there. So I always say, like, you gotta be proactive in this situation. But that's what we are as men. We're leaders. And if you call yourself a leader, then you gotta get you a plan, understand what it takes to fulfill this plan, put your plan in motion, and understand a plan never works without sacrifice, determination, and consistency. You got to do that. Sacrifice, determination, and consistency. And then it'll work. But that's all I like. And anything we do, that's buying a house, paying our credit, anything we do as a man. But that's the part of we was born with a dick and ball. Excuse my candor. And that made you the king.
That's definitely what it is.
Next time you pump some joy juice somewhere, Chris, you got to think about all those things.
Oh, boy,
He's not pumping shit.
I was 28 before I had my first one. I ain't got one now. I think I got it right the first time. I might be done. I might hang up my cleats. Boy.
That's another conversation too, because boy, I know sometimes you get with people and you be like, man, will you like? Because right now we got 3 people who not married, and I know y'all not dating cougars, so most likely you're gonna get somebody who might still want a child. We'll say that for another segment. But,
but listen, I've met people that's perfect on paper, good chick, all that, never had a kid. They want one child.
What? Yeah.
You're asking a lot. Because it all falls on the man.
Hey man, we had a good show tonight, man.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? We could talk forever, man. You know, when we get together, it's just like we never left, man. And I appreciate everybody for coming in. Thank you for Luz for showing up late, but you came, and that we appreciate you. You know, the hating was at a minimum because you came late, and we appreciate it. And thank you for everybody else. Maisha chimed in a lot. You know what I'm saying? T. Renee, Auntie, of course.
George.
Yeah, she dug in there. Tamika, Nay. There's a lot of people out here. I don't want to miss nobody.
Derek Burns,
John. Hey man, we appreciate y'all. A lot of y'all.
God damn it, man.
I love Mia. Listen, let me tell you something. Mia, you gotta hit my inbox. I gotta send you a thank you card. That's it. They look at them, they ready. Look at their face. Just a thank you card. Jesus Christ.
Hey,
that's it.
Bro.
I must say, you are not playing. You're the best when it comes to showing a black man some love. Because one thing, if there's one black man on this show, it's Zay, and you show him a lot of love.
I want to nominate him for Hater of the Year.
Hey man, I must say, and one thing you do is too dually is head on horse. One thing for you is consistency.
It's like your consistency.
Your consistency. Those 2 guys up top. They get 2 sides of me every time we tune in on.
I love it.
We got closing comments. Go ahead, Zay, since you are in love.
I am. I love supportive black women who see black men that are trying, and they give that support. They get them their flowers now. They don't wait till they dead and be all falling out at the couch. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you for that, Mia. I appreciate y'all for tuning in on our touchy subject. I'm the poster child for the co-parenting blues right now. One is retired and one is giving up the reins on the dysfunction. So he has it cool. And the other has never, ever had it happen to him before. And he should thank his lucky stars and his lucky baby mother because he has no clue what we go through mentally. But we thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for the advice, for the input. We ask you to share. We ask you to tag. As always, you can be anywhere on a Monday night. You here with us, listening to our jargon and tuning in. Thank you.
What you got, Chris?
I'd like to thank everybody for showing up, especially the women. 2 things. On our Super Friends page on IG, Horace posts something about would you date you, and I've seen a lot of women comment. Absolutely, I'm great. Mia, you was one. Luce, you was one. I think Ivory Shields was one. A lot of women comment. The crazy thing is all of them single. So I guess you're the only one that would date you. But that's neither here nor there. I want to talk about one thing. I don't want to be on a serious note. I appreciate all the accolades. I appreciate all signing the autographs. I appreciate all the free foods and getting in the club free. But here's the thing. Yes, I am the guy that was a third assistant on the bench that coached against the number 4 pick in the draft, Scotty Barnes. But I put my pants on the same way you guys do. You don't have to give me special treatment. I was just the 3rd assistant on the bench against the 4th pick in the draft, man. You don't have to make a big deal out of it. Everywhere I go, I'm signing autographs now. I'm getting the club free. My meals get paid for. Look, I'm just a man. All I did was take the stats and coach. I was just a 3rd assistant. No big deal. Shout out to Scotty Barnes, Palm Beach, number 4 pick in the draft.
Hey, Horace, bring us on there, Horace.
Listen, man. I'm just taken back. Listen, well, right before we go, I want to give a shout out to my radio bae, Naysimone, who allowed us to share her clip today, which was controversial when she posted about stop turning good fathers into deadbeats. As controversial as she is and rebellious, we could use that piece of media that she shared with us, but however, we gave her an invite to come on the Black Super Friends for Monday Night Raw, but I want to change it. Let's bring her on any night, but let's bring her on and let's all have a moment with Nay together.
Whoa, we don't do stuff like that no more. That was high school.
Yes, we do. Usually on Sundays.
Hey man,
maybe swinging.
Listen, let's bring Nay on and do a thing. Well, that didn't make it no better. So listen. So my closing comment and for the sponsors, man, real sponsor out there. Like I say, we make sure we support brands. To bring the brand to us, we're gonna do the commercial and we're gonna make you look good. We got 70,000 viewers, whether you like us or not. We are them boys. All right. So
I love it.
Thank y'all for tuning in for another week in my closing comments. Please go to the IG page. Please make sure you share the Facebook post. We want to get to 100,000 viewers. And to the people in the comments, keep your hate going, Mia. May your rose explode.
Hey,
we love
once again, we're gonna wrap it up tonight. But like everybody else just said, thank y'all. We can't thank y'all enough. But I want to say, please, we plead with y'all. Please share. Please tell a friend. Like at this point right now, there's no reason why these 4 mugs shouldn't be on a staple on a building somewhere or having a national syndicated show. Because at the end of the day, the conversation we have need to be had.
Thanks.
And a lot of times I hear in groups of successful women, smart women, beautiful women, the women that tune into our show, talking amongst their sisters and their mothers and their sisters saying we need more men to be up front, to have real conversation, to not cake, to not cap, to not do all that stuff. And I think that every Monday we come on here, we trying to give you a best version of what y'all been asking for. So I just want y'all to just take a minute and just share this right here so everybody can catch on to what y'all already getting every Monday. And it's authentic men. Single, married, divorced, straight, heterosexual, good fathers, and the Black community doing something good. Hey, man, we'll see y'all next Monday. And shout out to Pastor D. Demetrius. He gifted the Black Super Friends all with a book to help us better love Black women. So we're going to appreciate you, man. We'll get them books out to y'all. And we'll see y'all next Monday, man.
Pastor D.
Welcome to the meat house.
Yeah, wow, that was
that's what you're gonna give Pastor D as his slogan, guys.
My bad. That's